Hello students, welcome to the Fun Known. Today we are going to study an interesting topic which is known as square and square root. Now students, first understand what do you mean by a square and how the square is written. The square is often written as a little 2 like this. Means every time if someone says 4 square or 3 square, the square should be written here as like this. It is written over, often written over the number. So if it is 4 square, so 4 raised to 2. Okay? So 4 square is 16. Now we'll understand how 4 square is 16. Students, square's number itself says a number itself appears twice, multiplying twice. So students, tell me 4 into 4 is what? 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8, 4 threes are 12, 4 fours are 16. That's why 4 square, that means 4 multiplied by 4 is 16. So students, here is a table for you. 0 square, that is 0 multiplied by 0 is obviously a 0. 1 square, that is 1 multiplied by 1 is 1. 2 square, that is 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. 3 square, that is 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. 4 square, that is 4 multiplied by 4 is 16. 5 square, that is 5 multiplied by 5, that is 25. 6 square, that is 6 multiplied by 6, that is 36. So henceforth, if someone is asking you square of 6, so you will say 36. Square of 5, you will say 25. Square of 4, you will say 16. Square of 3, you will say 9. Square of 2, you will say 4. Students, this thing goes on. You can find square of any number. You just have to do that number multiply 2 times. If it is square of 9, so 9 into 9. If it is square of 6, so 6 into 6. This is how you will get square. And students, how you write square? You write square like this. A number raised to. This is known as raised to. So 4 raised to 2. That is, this is known as a little 2 here. Up is known as square. Now students, let us understand what do you mean by perfect square. Students, if we are talking about 3 into 3, can you see 3 into 3 how much it will be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So when you do 3 into 3, you get exact numbers, right? That is known as perfect square. Even 5 into 5, if we do 5 into 5, you get exact numbers, 5 rows and 5 columns. So 5 into 5, you will be getting an answer which is 25. So perfect square is that when you multiply two numbers and you get exact values of that number, that is 3 into 3, 5 into 5, 2 into 2, these are known as perfect square. You can see over here 3 square is 9, 5 square is 25. So students, let us understand what do you mean by perfect square as a definition. Perfect square is a number that can be expressed as the product of two equal integers. If two integers are there and that two equal integers I'm multiplying, that will give me the answer perfect square. 3 into 3, 2 into 2, 4 into 4, 5 into 5, but two numbers which are same, students. That is example, you can see 25 is a perfect square because 5 into 5 is 25. Now here 7 into 3, that is 21, but 21 is not a perfect square. Why? Because one number is 7 and one number is 3. So these numbers are not equal, and just because two numbers are not equal, they cannot be expressed, or their product cannot be expressed as a perfect square. Just because of this, students, 21 is not a perfect square. I hope you're understanding. So, if a number ends with 2, 3, 7, and 8 at units place, you know units place? Units place is this place. Yeah, the last one. Ending at units place with 2, 3, 7, and 8, mostly these numbers are not a square number. Students, these are not a square number. So you have to remember, if a number that ends with 2, 3, 7 and 8 at unit place, so it is not to be a square number. Example 132, 72, whichever number, but then it ends, the ending of this numbers, it is with 3, 7, 2 or 8. That means it is not a square number. If a number ends with 1, 4, 5, 6, 9, so it may be a square number. Students, you can ask me a question over here. That question must be in your mind. Here they says 1, 4, 5, 6, 9. That can be a square number. So why 21, that is ending with 1, is not a square number? Students, they have clearly mentioned maybe. Sometime it happens that a number ending with this cannot be a square number. So you have to keep in mind that a numbers end with or at the unit place they have 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9. That may be a square number. Okay. Now we'll understand what do you mean by square root. A square root of a number is a value that can be multiplied by itself to give a original number. Means if we will multiply that value with itself, you will get the value. 9 square root 3 into 3 is the answer. Square root symbols. Remember, students, this is a symbol of square root. So henceforth, whenever you have to write square root or square root of 3, square root of 9, whatever. So this is a symbol of square root. Very good. Now students, here, look at this diagram. This will explain you the whole concept. Square of 3 is 9, but square root of 9 is 3. Exactly. So this is how it works. If I'm telling square of 3, then you will answer 9. If I'm telling square root of 9, then you will answer 3. So what do you mean by square root? Square root is the value. If you will multiply this value 2 times, then the value you will get is the square root. 3 is squared, so 3 squared is 9. So square root of 9 is 3. The square root of 9 is 3 because 3 is multiplying by itself, so we get 9. We have seen this, students. Square root can be of negative number only. Also, it is not compulsory that square root will be only of positive numbers. As you have seen, 9 is a square root of 3. So if we are taking minus 3, so minus 3 into minus 3 will be also giving 9. So, square root of negative numbers or two negative numbers can give a positive number. Students, I hope you remember a formula which we have studied in mathematics. Two negatives gives a positive. Hence, two negative number, that is minus 3 into minus 3. Because there are two negative, both the negatives are cutting itself. So, the answer is 9. So, 3 into 3 or 3 square is also 9, or minus 3 square is also 9. So the square root of 9 can be 3 also and minus 3 also. Remember this. Okay. Square root can be 3 or minus 3. That is positive 3 or a negative 3. Students, now we will understand an important topic which is known as factorization. This is very important, students. You have to concentrate a lot in factorization. I want everyone to take pen and paper over here and sit while studying factorization, because you all have to solve the sums side by side with me. So let us go towards the first method of factorization, students. Find the square root of this number using a prime factorization. So if the number is given to us 256, and then they are telling to find the square root of this number using a method which is prime factorization. So for finding the square root, what we will do, you will write 256, then you will just see that number. Okay, this number comes in 2 table, we can divide that in 2. Yes. So 256, first 2 ones are 2. So yeah, 2 ones are 2. Then 56 is 28. So yeah, 2 twos are, we can say 2 twos are 4, and 1 will be remaining, that is 16. So 2 eights are will be 256. So basically 128 into 2, you will get the answer 256. Then we will divide further.
That is 2 6 are 12 and 2 4s are 8. So 64 is the answer. We will divide further. 2 3s are 6 and 2 2s are 4. So 32. Then we'll divide further. 2. Now you will say 32. So basically, if I want to divide it, 16 twos are is 32. And then also if you want to divide it normally with two table, you can say 2 ones are 2 and 1 will be remaining. That it will become 12 and 2 6 are 12. So 16 is the answer. Then everyone knows 2 8s are 16. So 2 8s are 16. Then 2 4s are 8. Then further 2 2s are 4. And then 2 1s are 2. So this is how we have done the factorization, which is also known as prime factorization. So how many 2 we have taken over here, students? Let us count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. So we are going to write all these 8 2s over here. Then what we will do, because there are 8 twos, now we will make a pair of each two, and because we are finding a square root, students, so this 2 that is pair will consider as 1, because na, in square root 3 into 2 we'll consider it as 1, right? So that's why 2 into 2 2 into 2 2 into 2 we'll consider it as pair and we'll write it single. 2 2 2 2 2. So this pair is now a single 2 2 2. So now just try to multiply this. 2 into 2 4, 4 into 2 8, 8 into 2 16. So now what is the actual square root of 256 is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, that is 16. Understanding, students? So this is how you can find the square root of a number, which is 256. And this is how we have find it out, that 16 is the square root of number. So 16 into 16, if you will do, you will get the answer 256. I hope you are understanding. Let us go to another example, students. Now the question for us is, or the number here is 625. Try to do it, students. Try to do it. 625. First, 625, it is not compulsory by 2. Okay, it is going by 5. So we'll see, okay, 5 ones are 5. 1 will be remaining. Then 12 will be. But then 12 doesn't come in 5 tables. So it will be 5 twos are 10. So 2 will be remaining. And 5 fives are 25. So 125 will be the answer. I hope you're understanding, students, how I'm doing. Listen to me once again. 5 ones are 5. Here it is 6. So 1 will be remaining. So here it will be now 12. 5 twos are 10. So now if from 12, if 10 is going, then what it will be? Here it will be 2. 25. 5 fives are 25. That's why here it is 125. Further 125. 5 twos are 10. 2 is remaining, so 25. And 5 fives are 25. That's why it is 25. Then 5 fives are 25 and 5 ones are 5. So this is how I have factorized 625, students. Now what we'll do, we'll write the factorization over here, find to find to find. Now for factorization of square root, what we are saying, we will take pairs. So we'll take both these pairs and we'll write this pair will be considered as 1, this pair will be considered as 1. So 5 into 5, so 625 square root is 25. Exactly, students. I hope you're understanding now how to find out the number, that is how to find out the square root of a number. But the method which we are using over here is known as factorization, or you can also say prime factorization, students. Okay, so with this we are ending the class now. We'll see you in the next class. Be there on the fun known. Thank you, students.